Good afternoon, traders. We're going to try to take an afternoon trade here once the market closes. First thing you do is always unlock your platform because you don't want to have something moving on your watch list and you miss an entry. Then make sure your watch list is clear. Now go to markets. Top gainers, after hours. This will not refresh until after 4 p.m. So this is all stuff from yesterday. What I highly recommend is if you have the means, if you have a laptop or another computer that you can have right next to your trading computer, is have this exact same list up on this exact same page on your other computer, and then that way you can see which one refreshes first, because for whatever reason they don't always do the same thing. Sometimes my laptop refreshes first and sometimes this desktop refreshes first. I have no idea why. So we got about 50 seconds here until the market closes. I don't really let what happened during the day influence my aftermarket trading. I'm really looking for something new. I don't really care about what traded during the day, because the aftermarket is kind of like, in a way, really, it's like the beginning of the next day for trading, because if you see all of the pre-market gainers and the stocks that trade with high volume at the market open, they're usually stocks that started trading in the aftermarket the day before. In this case, it's Friday, so this could have a big influence on how Monday's pre-market goes. Me personally, I don't like to get into a trade and then just hold it through the weekend or hold it overnight, because I don't have time to babysit these trades like until 8 p.m. If you do, you may be able to do that. So we're going to close right now. We're looking for this to update, and I'm also looking, you can't see it, but I'm looking at my laptop, and we're going to see which one updates first. Sometimes clicking this or refresh. There we go. It goes. So on my laptop, I got a couple of stocks here. Let's see. Unfortunately, you can't see them. So now I'm looking for price. I have them organized by volume, but I'm looking for something in my price range. All right, so now this one's updated. It looks a little different than my laptop. And this is like an easy way to add them to your list. So I'm looking at this price now. I got them organized by volume, looking at price. Here's something that's in my price range. Float is way too big. PLG, that was trading heavily during the day, so that one is definitely questionable. Too large a float. Too large float. I'm looking over here for free float. Just to make sure we're not missing anything else. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much. Givo is probably junk at this point. I know that was trading. And PLG, I think it's moved too much during the day, because see this, I don't really care what it does in the aftermarket, because you're going to have a ton of selling pressure. I mean, look at how extended this thing is. So I'm just going to remove that. I don't want to be tempted to take a risky trade. Yeah, my laptop still looks different than the desktop. It's crazy. So this week was like a pretty intense week trading wise, as far as, you know, the action in the market. So there might not be anything, like people probably just trying to cool off. We had that huge mover with GLSI. Either that or this screener is all messed up. I should just restart it, since there's nothing to be trading anyway. Let me give it a restart. I did restart it just a few minutes before I started the video, and the computer's on a fresh restart. All right, there we go. Totally different. That sucks. This isn't right either. There we go. All right, so VVIT, that one has the most volume, but it's not moving up, and that one was traded heavily during the day. NH, that looks interesting. It's got a lot of volume. I like that. I got to unlock this thing now. All right, looks like it traded very heavily today, so might not be so good to take a trade on this now. Because see, as this thing shoots up, you're gonna get. I'm not even interested in this anymore, because who knows how far this thing's gonna go up. As it goes up, people from back here are gonna be selling off. They got stuck holding the bag, so no thank you. It's better just to not trade if you don't see an opportunity that you really like. Jivo's too large of a float size anyway. I know that one was AHT 12.6 million. Oh, so you know what? I'm screwing this up because I said that you can't organize by the after hours for volume. You can't organize by volume. That's what's messing me up. Dang it. I probably screwed this up now, so I'll explain that a little bit in more detail in a second. So this is either a pump and dump or a good 3-bar play entry. Let's see, the max stop that I would be willing to take here is 58 cents, I think, or 56 cents. And that's about 30 cents, so that's not too bad. But this thing's got to break over 558 for me to get in it. So the volume is not crazy heavy. And this thing also, it started trading just at 2 o'clock, it looks like. Yeah, I don't like that. It looks like a pump and dump. So I might have missed my opportunity. Not on that one. There wasn't really an opportunity there. But on whatever, I might have been able to trade because I screwed this up. I forgot, in the aftermarket, you cannot organize by volume because the volume is coming from the day. It has nothing to do with the volume in the aftermarket. And that's all I'm really interested in these aftermarket trades. This is choppy. There was a lot of choppiness today in the market, so it kind of makes sense that it's still happening in the aftermarket. I don't think I like that enough to give it another look. Just get rid of these. Of course, I could be wrong on any of these, but I don't care if I get like a bad feeling. Not so much a feeling. I mean, you try to avoid using your feelings in the stock market, but if I just see something that doesn't look good pattern-wise. So I got to remember, organized by percent gain on the in the aftermarket. Totally screwed that up today. Can look at this one. As well as that one. That one's got a very low float. That could move big time. Did that update? It doesn't look like it, or I put it on the wrong list or something. They're there on the, yeah, they're there. What, I don't know, I'm losing it. Things happen very fast in the aftermarket. It's easy to get disoriented. It's kind of like trading the market open, but without all the pre-market knowledge. So that's no good. So this could be like another live no trade video. I released one earlier. But again, there's some good information in here. That's pretty low volume now. That one looks reasonable, worth looking at. Oh, I forget anyway that this volume isn't accurate. But, well, I mean, no, I should say that if the numbers are really low, then that indicates that it wasn't trading at all during the day, and that you know, the volume is likely extremely low in the aftermarket as well. So mainly I'm just looking at price range, and then I check the volume on the chart directly. But the fact that these things are so low on the top gainers list is indicative that there's not much going on. And I'm not interested in forcing any trades, so if I don't see something really good, nope, that's nothing. These are really easy to get rid of. When you just see a dash, just delete it. All right, that looks interesting. Let's see how much volume that is. It's only 1,000 shares, so that's not really good. And that was at 401. So this is where a lot of people, I'm sure, like new traders can get tricked into, oh my God, look at this thing, let me get in. Huge spread, 8 cents for a dollar stock. That's huge. It's almost 10%, or it's about 8% exactly. And there's absolutely no volume. Someone came in and bought like 1,000 shares here at 401, and like I'm sure a few people followed suit, and they're stuck in this thing now. There's no one to sell to because no one's trading it. So it's a classic pump and dump, more than likely. There's nothing here. This is interesting how like the 405 candle looks like this over here, and on the 1 minute chart it looks completely different. But again, look at that, 600 shares, no thanks. There's nothing there. So the candlesticks can be deceiving. You have to have the volume first, then the candlesticks make sense. Oops, I did it again. All right, this one I remember was trading a week or so ago. It's moving up the list of top gainers. So we got to be careful. We got to look at, see what it did during the day, make sure that there's not like a whole bunch of bag holders. Oh, I had this one up a second ago, and I said it was kind of choppy. So it broke the high. Now, what the smart move here, since this thing took so long to break out over this high after this pullback, is to wait for a pullback from the high a day, and then I could take an entry after that. Sometimes it pulls back in one candle, not like this, that's not what I mean, and the next candle. Spread is pretty big, so I don't really like that. The volume, it might not be here. 56,000 on the first candle, and then you're seeing it kind of fade away. Not in love with what's happening here, because the volume's leaving, so that means that people aren't interested in buying it. So people are going to start selling off or shorting, and that's what happens. That's not the pullback that you're looking for. You're looking for it to break the high of day or the high of the session and get up a little bit above it. Even one candle is enough, or two candles, and then pull back and just touch the high of day or stay slightly above or very slightly below and then continue higher. This is not doing that at all, so it's no longer tradable as far as I'm concerned. So right now we've got about 4 minutes left. My rule is if I haven't seen anything in 15 minutes, I don't take a trade. That keeps me from trading emotionally, like making, you know, one emotion is like, oh wow, I've been sitting here for so long. You know, maybe you've been watching the markets for half an hour, and you're thinking, man, I haven't taken a trade yet. Let me just look for something halfway decent to get into. And generally that'll turn into a loss. So I'd rather just give it 15 minutes. It seems like most of the action happens very close to the beginning of a new session. That's why I like to trade at 4 p.m., 4 a.m., and then the market open. And I give each session 15 minutes. The market open, I might give a little longer if the pattern starts, you know, before that 15 minutes is up, and I'm just waiting for it to finish forming. But if the pattern breaks, then I don't wait for another one to form. Take a look at this one. Got a low flow. It's only up 3%. I mean, really, so what's happening here is there's no real top gainers in the aftermarket, because often by this time you'll have some around 50, 60 to 80%, maybe 100, I don't know. So this is indicative of a slow day in the aftermarket, essentially. Yeah, this is total junk. Again, so easy to, don't be fooled by like a big green candle or something. As soon as you see these dashes, that's indicative of low volume and it's not tradable. And if you want to double check, you can just put your mouse over it. You can see 2,000 shares in that candle. It's not too bad. Then 200, then 3, you know. So this is like one person coming in trying to push this thing up. They might be holding from back here. So, that's no good. And it's looking like we're not going to get a trade. That's okay. I'm green on the week, and it's Friday, so might as well wrap it up on a positive note. No need to force any trades. It's never a good thing. Let's see. It's really just my last look because there's only like 2 minutes left before. So there's nothing by now. there will likely be nothing in 2 minutes. Yeah, I mean, this is really lame. Just double check one more time. We're not missing anything. We checked that one. Yeah, 16% is the highest at this time in the aftermarket. That's not a good sign. That's saying that people are just not really not buying right now. So the market moved kind of sideways today. Looks like it's holding at 30,000. So MDH flipped, but that was the one that I'm sure, was like traded heavily during the day, right? We can just give it one more look. I'm not going to take a trade on it, but what was it? MDHJ. I'm sure it's really choppy. MDJH maybe? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, this is no good. So yeah, this is the one that I said looks like a pump and dump. And yeah, generally when they make a high on one candle and then they can't break it right away, then that's it. This is no good. I mean, it may break eventually, but I'm not interested in sitting here. What happened? I used to get into these sometimes, like thinking, oh, this is like a bull flag pattern, and technically it kind of is. But what happens in the aftermarket, especially Friday, people don't want to sit at their computers and watch the market on a Friday. They want to get their weekend started. So look at the volume here, 28,000, and it gets up to 50,000, which is mostly sellers there. And then look at that fade. I'm looking up here. Look at the volume numbers. People are like, okay, I made my money. Let me get my weekend going. And then you get a few people, poor people that feel like, I don't mean poor money wise. I mean I feel bad for them, that are feeling FOMO that they didn't catch this big move. I don't know how you would. And they're hoping that this thing is going to break out and shoot up on Monday. It might, but let me see. Looking back at, okay, yeah, so this one didn't trade that much during the day. So this one actually has a fairly decent chance of shooting up on Monday. But I think I'd rather just wait and see what happens instead of taking a chance. Because even though, look at this, it started trading heavily for the last couple hours of the market, but what did it do? It just went into a downtrend, so that's not really strong. So that really decreases the chance of this thing breaking out over Monday. So here we are past 4:15, so definitely can't take a trade. I'll look at that watch list just one last time. Yeah, so I think we went through everything. And yeah, that's it. So hopefully I'm going to go ahead and release this even though there's no trade. I think that I shared a lot of useful information. So hopefully you guys watch all the way to the end. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I hope everyone had a great week trading. Even if you had a red week, it still might have been a good week if you followed your trading plan. And if you found that your trading plan, just constantly failed, you might need to use the weekend to revise it. Tighten up some rules or something like that. But anyway, yeah, so I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, and thank you for watching. Oh, let me show you. Sorry, I'll show you one last time my P&L for the week. I did this earlier, but just in case you don't see that video, remember I'm trading a very small cash account here, so I trade about $40 per trade. So I'm up actually $9 and some change because this was something that I did hold last weekend from Friday, so I made a lot less than this. For whatever reason, Webull kind of screws that up. But so at least hey, I'm in the green this week, but there's a lot of room for improvement. I learned a lot more about how important it is to hold to 2R. I'm definitely grateful that I had all these green days, but check this out. If I would have held to 2R, look at the P&L versus the P&L that I got on all of those days. A lot of times it's like 2 or 3 times as much. Actually, this one is about 5 times as much that I missed out on because I weak-handed the trades and I sold too early. So all the yellow trades are indicators of that I weak-handed it or I took a bad entry or something like that. These two right here are winners. This one's a loser. You can tell if it. So just real quick, the negative one means it didn't go to 2R. It got stopped out, and the 2 means it went to 2R. But if it's in yellow, that means that I didn't hold till 2R. Here's one where I did hold till 2R. All of these went to 2R. but I didn't hold, and I made money on this one, but I would have made a lot more. And then over here is a loser. This is just like something I consider a good pattern that failed and didn't go to 2R, so that's why that's in red. And here's a technically a green trade, but again, I didn't hold till 2R, so here's one that I did hold. So that's it. And I didn't take that many trades this week. I actually summed up all of the cost of all of my trades for the week, and it was $507, and I made a return on that of 1.85%. So that's just a nice little stat to have. My percent change of the account this week was 1.88%, but man, it would have been a lot more if I would have held to 2R. Here's 2R, it's 2.5 times that, so we could figure, we'll round that up to 2, so about 5 to 6% is what I would have had if I would have held to 2R of a percent change, which is awesome. If you can get 5% a week, man, that's amazing. That's 20% a month. So that's huge. So lesson here is I got to hold till 2R. So this is it. I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm going to say goodbye and have a great weekend. And again, thank you for watching, especially if you stuck all the way to the end of this long ass video. I'll see you guys Monday.